everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Dom, this is Rockin' the Country. We're going into our 5th year of doing the channel, and wow, I like it as much or more now than I did back then, because traditional country has just gotten into my soul. It's so funny because sometimes I'll listen to Nashville country, but artists that have a traditional sensibility. I can always listen to Alan Jackson. I can always listen to Miranda Lambert, for instance. Joe Nichols, I like. Easton Corbin, like, they have songs that I like a lot. But there's nothing any longer like traditional country. Of all the music I've ever listened to, nothing hits me or satisfies me on a subconscious and conscious level as traditional country. So now this journey has taken me all over the map, and I've already reacted to Tennessee Ernie Ford. I did 16 Tons and other things, and you just find out that the brilliance, the storytelling, that one, you find out that humanity hasn't changed in 100 years, and since the recording industry started, I guess 80 years ago. But I'm doing a reaction to Hicktown. I don't know this song. It's a funny now. I don't know if Hicktown meant the same thing when Tennessee Ernie recorded this, but it was requested by John Davidson. So John, shout out to you. Thank you for being on this journey with me. There's so many nice people on the channel, so many thoughtful, knowledgeable people on the channel, and I read all the comments and I get a sense as to who knows their stuff. And I get like these Harvard education snippets here and there, just bang, that educates me on different nuances and parts of the traditional country world and development. And I love this. So anyway, let's see what Tennessee Ernie Ford's got, other than like an amazing voice. I think, wasn't he classically trained? Didn't he go to college for this somewhere, music college for this, for voice?
One filling station where nobody stops, a general store and a barber shop. We had a picture show, but it burned down, and everybody calls this a Hicktown. Everybody calls this a Hicktown.
That bass.
The population changes when a new baby cries, and it don't change again till somebody dies. There's a train through at noon, but it don't even slow down. Just whistles when it passes this Hicktown.
I was just listening the other day in my car to some Miranda Lambert songs, and there's a song in there, and I noticed this, and I've heard this lyric many times. One of the lyrics was, she named the town, I forget the name of the town in the song, but population +1 -1. And you're like, that's what this is. It's one of those towns where a new baby, like he said, a new baby's born. Anytime someone dies, it goes down one. But it isn't something like a big city where that just goes unnoticed.
Can't wait to get through this Hicktown. Hicktown. Old Buford tried to leave, but he didn't get far. He waited 3 days trying to thumb him a car. But the only one that passed, he'd like to run him down. So he's back picking cotton in this Hicktown. Hicktown! No, he's never gonna leave this Hicktown. Hicktown! One filling station where nobody stops, a general store and a barber shop. We had a picture show, but it burned down, and everybody calls this a Hicktown. Everybody calls this a Hicktown. On Saturday night, we all dress up fine. Everybody stays up till 8 or 9. We walk up the street and then walk back down. That's Saturday night in a Hicktown. Hicktown. Oh, we really live it up in a Hicktown. Hicktown. But it's kind of nice to know that if your crops are lean, there's a neighbor to share his grits and his beans. And when you really need a friend, there's a friend around. Cause that's how it is in a Hicktown. Hicktown. Yep. You bet. We take care of our own in a Hicktown. Hicktown. Well, we got one filling station where nobody stops, a general store and a barber shop. We had a picture show, but it burned down. And everybody calls this a Hicktown. Everybody calls this a Hicktown. Well, we got one filling station where nobody stops, a general store and a barber shop. We had a picture show, but it burned down. And everybody calls this a Hicktown. Everybody calls this a Hicktown.
Ah, so many thoughts. I love that part. I was already thinking it, and then he sang it, that when something goes wrong, though, there's somebody there to help you out. And sure enough, he said that when your crops are lean, someone's there to share their something in beans. I forget what that was, but it reminded me too of like boating etiquette. Like when you have a boat and you're out on the water and something goes wrong, the other boaters are expected to come to your rescue unless their life is imperiled. But it's what you do anyway. When somebody's in trouble out there, wherever on the water, you just go get them. And this reminded me of that. But also here in New Jersey too, whenever if they're gonna build like a new train station, for instance, like add a new stop on one of the lines, and we've got a lot of train lines out here, and they're gonna add a new stop, that immediately increases the property values or the cost to buy a home in that town, because those trains typically give you access to New York City. And that's where bigger money is. And anytime you have access to a city, property values go up because it just becomes more popular. It's cheaper than living in the city to be out off a train line, but it still boosts the property values. And the filling station here, he said, we've got one filling station where nobody stops. So that tells me right away that they didn't put it on the highway, or that there may not have been a highway that connected. Let's say this was set in Texas, that didn't connect to San Antonio or Houston or somewhere like that. But it just told the story. That was a story not so much about the town, but about people. Because here there's nothing going on. Here's what people say about us, but we look out for ourselves. And that's one of the beautiful things of the human race, where we'll take care of one another. Maybe not as much as we'd like. That's my opinion. Not as much as we could, perhaps should, however you define should, but or whatever you base that on. But it's a beautiful thing that people take care of each other. I mean, in a small town, everybody knows everybody's business. That's a good thing. That's a bad thing. Most people regard that as a bad thing. We generally want some privacy, but if you're dating somebody, everybody in a small town is going to know it. It's just the way it works. You live in New York City or a populated state like New Jersey, people might pay a little bit of attention, but by and large, just don't care. It's just, there's too many people to care about that you just, I got to rate this, John Davidson. Man, did I like that story. I love Tennessee Ernie. I love his attitude. I love his attitude. He seemed like probably a fun dude to hang out with. You guys will know his story, I'm sure, about that. Everybody's got skeletons in the closet, and sometimes the newspaper prints them. The story alone, it captured what it's like. Like me having grown up in New Jersey and seeing this state grow the way it has since I was born, and it was already fairly populated, but we played out in the fields back in the day. We picked strawberries everywhere out there and such, and now there's old buildings up there where they are. We've grown a lot, but I love hearing the way people have the perspectives on smaller towns. So the number that hit me on this, partly on the strength of the bass player too, because he was keeping the whole thing afloat, was an 8.8. I mean, that's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. And nothing's changed in that regard. You could take another small town somewhere. An artist would sing about it, and it would be the same context, same feel. So, John Davidson, thank you for that. And that's it. Leave your comments, folks. I'll see you on another video. Keep rocking the country.